I am joined today by Hart from Rent Panda. I'm excited for today because we actually get to talk about rental platforms. I know that that's what you specialize in, but it actually is really hard to find a good rental platform. It is a problem that both landlords and real estate investors alike all go through is really just being able to manage their rental properties in the right way.
And then you're essentially done. You've gone all the way from listing to lease. We're going to stop the stopwatch and you've finished the entire process on one platform, gotten all your listing done, marketed your property, seen tenants, booked showings really efficiently, built your lease with quality tenants who you've screened efficiently, all on one system.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Rebecca Lynn Matheson, and welcome to another episode here on the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I am joined today by Hart from Rent Panda. Hart, welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me again, Rebecca. Excited for today.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. I'm excited for today because we actually get to talk about rental platforms. I know that that's what you specialize in, but it actually is really hard to find a good rental platform. It is a problem that both landlords and real estate investors alike all go through is really just being able to manage their rental properties in the right way. So I'm actually really excited that we get to go through your platform today and do a live example of going from listing to lease and just really see how simple the process is. So let's get right into it and just go through. Before we do though, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Canadian Real Estate Channel. Just smash that like button just down below so that we feed the algorithm and it really helps us out. So make sure that you like as well as subscribe and throw some love in the comment section below. We love hearing from you. And maybe if you tell us a little bit about some of the experiences you've had as a landlord, it will really help to kind of guide the experience here on platforms like this. We have a business owner, Hart, here in our presence who can actually answer these questions for you live. So use that and make sure that you ask away or talk about your experience so that products like this continue to exist, because this is such a great way to service your business as a landlord. So Hart, again, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, Rebecca. And as you mentioned, we built this platform for landlords in mind because we are landlords ourselves, and we had some less than par experiences as landlords posting on Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace and looking for a whole suite of solutions in order to find good tenants and rent our properties. And we thought there had to be a better way. Little cliche, but it's true. And so what we wanted to do today was actually take one of your properties and play a little game and have you go from listing all the way through to lease. I'm going to play tenant, so you'll see me typing away with my interest in your property and really see how long it takes to go all the way from listing your property, whether it's your first or your 10th or your 20th, till you can find a tenant and actually get a lease in place, signed, sealed, and delivered.
Okay, Hart, so let's actually go through the Rent Panda platform. We're just going to pull it up here and just go step by step from listing to lease. Let's see how long this takes and what this experience is like, just so that people can really understand a little bit more about exactly what this platform is. So why don't you just talk me through it? So I'll kind of act as the landlord, I guess, in this case. And why don't you take me through all the way, let's say I have a project that I want to put up on your platform. Why don't you just take me through the entire process from start to finish?
Sounds good. So the first step is really the same as any other platform, and you're going to create a listing. So if you start to create your listing, you'll see as you go through, it's a really simple process like other platforms. You just input the address of the property that you're looking to rent, and it'll obviously pre-populate that for you, making it as simple as possible. And so you're going to put that property in 123 Main Street in Toronto and scroll down. You can actually hide your exact address. So if you do want to be a little bit incognito, you can put a general intersection and whatnot. You can put in a publicly displayed address. So you can put an intersection or anything like that, whatever you want. Beautiful 2-bedroom unit that you've got. And then you want to indicate if it's a house or a unit or an apartment building. So you're going to include that. Awesome. If it is a condo, you can indicate that. That'll actually affect your lease later on. So to prompt you to upload your condo bylaws. And if you hit next, you'll go on to the next step, which is super simple. Just make up some details about maybe your next rental that you've got ready to go. And as you go through, you can see just really easy, user-friendly, similar to other platforms. Awesome. So you want to input your lease duration there. Good landlord, you put month to month. Awesome. You put your price per month. And then you hit next. Sweet. And then a few standard details. So, you've got an unfurnished place, your pet policy, maybe you're open to it, maybe you want to negotiate with people, all of the random amenities that you have. So you can just easily check off what amenities are included in your place, whether there's parking or not parking, and you can indicate an additional cost for parking as well. And then whether your utilities are included. So trying to hopefully avoid a lot of those questions that tenants typically ask about whether utilities are included or not, and whether you've got laundry in the house. Really simple. Hit that next button and you're on your way. And this is one element that we've built in here where it is super annoying for landlords to write a description of their place. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think it's cheesy. So just go ahead and hit that pre-populate button and boom, we did the write-up for you. So you've got an awesome write-up about your place that gives the specifics. You hit next, and you're going to upload those awesome photos that you took of your rental property. Now, you've obviously watched our past video about how to take great rental photography, got some awesome shots in. So you're going to really easily and quickly upload those. And while you're doing that, for those people that don't know how to take good photos, even with an iPhone, just make sure to turn on all the lights, take photos from your chest height, make sure to back up all the way and get the widest angle possible and get lots of different angles. You want to give people the best indication of what that space really is so that they're not going to be coming through the place and be surprised at what they see along the way. And if you ever forget those photo tips, you can click in to get those photo tips on this page, but we're going to go ahead and click next. And this next step is one of our key premium features. So typically Rent Panda is free to list, but if you wanted to go ahead and actually take away the element of posting on Facebook and posting on Kijiji, which is where most tenants are searching these days, you can actually pay a premium and we'll do the posting for you. So if you chose that option that you just did, you get to post on Facebook and Kijiji. All of that interest that comes through Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji will actually get siphoned back to your Rent Panda account, and we'll handle all of those annoying "is it still available" messages. But for now, let's say you want to skip and just go the full free route. You're going to skip and publish. And we let you know that you're almost done. And why we don't post your ad right away is because there are a lot of rental scams out there. Even today on CNN or on CBC, it was posted that there was rental scams that popped up in London, Ontario, and a lot of landlords were getting scammed and a lot of tenants were getting scammed by fake landlords. And so what we do at Rent Panda is we actually call every single landlord who posts on the property to make sure that they are real, that there are no scammers, and that we make sure their property is actually what they're listing. And so they're not pulling a fake listing off of realtor.ca. They're not, misinforming people about the information there, and they are truly a real landlord. So we're going to pretend I just called you up, Rebecca. I said, hey, can you give me some key details about your place? I talked to you about it, what the price is, where it is, when you took the pictures, make sure you are a real person, not abroad that's faking this. And now your property is approved, and you can see that little verification badge there. So if you actually click into your property, you'll see that you've got a main dashboard to manage that property there. So at any point in time, you can adjust those unit details. You can go through and actually input new information. So if you do need to change the price of your place or do you need to change anything at all within that listing, you can do so really quickly and easily. And you can start to get messages from people at the same time. So I am going to play Tenant, and I'm going to find your property on my end. So I found your property now. You can't see it just yet, but we're going to wait for those messages to come through. And I'm going to be able to message you and say, hi, I love your place. And that message is going to automatically pop up on your end. Look, you got a message from Hart Togman. And now the difference here is that on every other platform, you're really just going to communicate back and forth and ask your standard questions. And the difference here on Rent Panda that we found a pain with as landlords was you forget people's information. You have to ask the same questions over and over and over again. And so, Rebecca, if you just click view profile right there under my name, right at the top of that message, you're going to actually see all of the standard information that you would typically ask a tenant. And now as a tenant on the platform, I've input all that information to make my life easier, to make sure that I get this awesome place that you've just renovated and posted up there. And you can see all my information before deciding to go forward with a showing or to go into screening. Now on my end, as a tenant, I want to come for a showing. Is it still available? When can I come see the place? The typical questions that you get asked. And so if you go back to the main screen and reload that page, you'll actually see that I've requested a screening from you, but I'm not choosing a date and time. I'm not, saying, hey, I'm coming by at 3:00 to see the place. And so if you just click into that property and go to my messages, you'll see that I've requested a showing, but I've just indicated general times that I'm available. So you can view my profile, or you can go right into booking a showing with me. So if you go to book that showing, you've already seen my profile. I look like a stand-up guy that you want to show the place to. Now you're in control of choosing times to actually book that showing. You can send me one time that you're available. You can add 15 times and allow me to choose from them. But a really simple way to just integrate calendar bookings with an actual messaging platform, so that you don't need to integrate multiple platforms. You don't need to deal with, text messages and phone calls and things like that. You can just do it all on platform. So if we go ahead and maybe actually just book a showing with me, you'll see that you can flip me through anytime. Awesome. You'll see that it's confirming that you have sent a request to book that showing with me. And on my end, I can either confirm that showing, I can reject the showing, or I can propose a new time. So I'm, super excited about this showing. I'm going to confirm it. And then you've actually got that showing scheduler in your calendar. And if you just click on that actual showing with me now, it'll update because I've just confirmed it. And now you've got a confirmed showing in your calendar. So if you go to the calendar view, you can see all of them. And in certain markets with a lot of competition and a lot of interest, you may have 10, 20, 30 showings in a day. So this allows you to keep them all straight, to identify exactly who's coming through at what time. And you can always click back through to see my profile, because you're not going to remember, the 10 or 20 or 30 people that have come through your place. You always want to correlate their profile information with that. So then the next step is, theoretically, you've seen my profile, you've done a showing, you generally like me and think I'm going to be a good tenant. And so you're going to go through some sort of advanced screening process in order to verify all my information. Typically, that looks like a credit check and a background check. And so we've actually built that into the platform right away within each applicant that comes through to you. So if you click on messages again, and typically you'd have 20 or 30 of these messages, but just within me, you can either book a showing again, you can screen me, or you can go right to building a lease. So we're going to go into screen a tenant now. And this is where we've actually built in this premium feature where you don't have to pay for it if you don't want it. But if you do want to purchase a screening, we put a full Equifax credit report, as well as a full RCMP background check on each individual person. The tenant would consent to it. They would provide their information discreetly, so you don't get to see, their SIN number or their birth date or things like that. But what you would get served is the full Equifax credit report and the full RCMP background check in about 90 seconds after they consent. So we won't go through the whole process here to show exactly what that is, but if anyone goes to rentpanda.ca/screening, they can actually see a sample report and they can do this for themselves. And now we're going to imagine that you've actually screened me. Everything looks awesome. I've got good credit. I don't have a criminal history, and you're going to go and build a lease. So you go to the build a lease section, and it's going to let you know that you haven't screened me, although you have in this instance. So you just click through yes. And we found that the process of building an Ontario standard lease with a lease appendix was very daunting for a lot of landlords. And so we've built it into a system that makes it really easy to pre-populate your information, to change that information just with form fields and actually populate the daunting government lease document. So if you click create a new lease, you'll go right into that experience, and you can see that most of your information is pre-populated. So you do need to input a landlord mailing address there, just right above where your cursor is. And you can input any address there just for our little demo here. Again, it pre-populates to make it a little bit quicker for you. And you hit next All the other information is pre-populated from your actual listing. So as long as your listing is up to date, then your lease will be up to date. You can see here at the top two, we have the Rent Panda lease appendix. And so that lease appendix has all of the clauses that aren't standard as part of the typical Ontario standard lease, and typically what paralegals will charge $100 or $200 for. We're giving away for free because we want landlords to have an awesome experience. Then if you scroll down, it's all of the other details and information included in the Ontario standard lease. And you don't really need to do anything. You can change all these if you want, but you don't really need to do anything again if your listing is up to date. And if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, we've got our big old next button, and we're going to take you to the final stage of the lease where you review all the information and you can actually send it to that tenant. So you're going to add me as a tenant because I've messaged you on Rent Panda, that big black button, add tenant info. You don't even need to send it to me by email because I'm already on Rent Panda. You add me in, and then you can choose to include tenants insurance or not. As a good landlord, you are going to have that as a yes. And then you're going to click next. And we're actually going to create that Ontario standard lease on the back end with a lease appendix attached to it and serve you up all that information to review. So as long as you've input everything correctly, you're going to scroll down to the bottom, click next, and your lease is going to be ready to go. Here, you can actually digitally sign your lease. So you can sign the entire thing on the platform. The tenant will be able to sign it as well. And it's a super simple digital signature that you send over to that tenant. So click on through, and this is where the system is actually going to populate that PDF. So it may take 10, 20 seconds. It's going to create that lease for you. You can then download that lease. So if you want that old school copy of the lease to print out and give it to the tenant, you can do that, or you can send it to them directly on Rent Panda. And then you're essentially done. You've gone all the way from listing to lease. We're going to stop the stopwatch and you've finished the entire process on one platform, gotten all your listing done, marketed your property, seen tenants, booked showings really efficiently, built your lease with quality tenants who you've screened efficiently, all on one system.
I love that. Yeah, that was way easier than I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect because, guys, we literally just did this in the moment. So I've never been through this platform. So it definitely is actually very simple. It reminds me of kind of a mix between Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji in terms of the fact that you have actually thought through all of the different steps that you need to go through as a landlord. And because you're an investor yourself, you get it. So you understand the things that are annoying to deal with. And that's really what you've put into this product, is just ensuring that you actually have every single element thought through and ready to go for that investor.
Yeah. And like you said before, Rebecca, I think we've built this platform based on feedback from landlords. We actually, as a tech startup, stole from Airbnb's playbook and did free photography for the first 2,000 landlords that were on the system. We gave them free photography so that we could talk with every single one, similar to how Airbnb stayed on everyone's couch at the beginning. And all of that feedback that we got from landlords was really crucial in building all of these tools. And so along the way, we're still building. And so we want everyone to feedback, to comment down below what questions you want us to ask tenants before you do showings with them, comment ideas for new tools to add to the platform. And if you can dream it up, we can build it. And so we want the entire community to really feedback in on what they need as landlords.
Absolutely. Well, Hart, thank you so much for taking me through your Rent Panda platform. Guys, make sure that you check out the website, sign up as a landlord if you have properties, and consider using the platform. It is actually way easier than I expected to use it. So thank you for the tutorial today, Hart. And guys, if you liked today's video, make sure that you throw us some love and smash the like button. It feeds the algorithm and we really appreciate it. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the Canadian Real Estate channel so that you do not miss a single beat here on the channel. And again, throw some love in the comment section. We love to hear from you. And it sounds like Hart has used a lot of that user experience to build the platform. So any comments that you have, definitely, as a business owner, I'm sure will help you, Hart, but also it's so good to engage with you guys as investors and just hear your stories and the ins and outs as per what your experience has been in the industry. So Hart, thank you so much. Where's the best place for people to find you?
Just rentpanda.ca. Pretty easy.
Love it. Awesome. Well, Hart, thank you again for coming onto the channel, and always appreciate chatting with you. And, it was actually really cool to get to experience your platform, because I know that we've done a few videos here previously on the channel. So now actually being able to go through and see the platform, it was a really great experience. So thank you for that. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Awesome. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.